Il a les yeux vert fluo.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
Ah oui, d'accord.
Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Mais je l'ai pas tué. C'était un concours de circonstances, je l'ai pas tué du tout. Mais alors du tout. Alors, qu'est-ce que je peux t'équiper? Alors, plus 5 compétences en logique. Donc salut à toutes et à tous, on part sur l'épisode 2 de The Council. Le 1 a été vraiment une sacrée baffe exceptionnelle. Donc on va commencer sur le 2. On va continuer sur le 2, qui j'espère tiendra toutes ses promesses. Ah oui, non mais je suis obligé d'équiper ça. Plus simple. Je peux en équiper 2 ou quoi? Oui, non. Ah oui, quand je peux en équiper encore un. Alors je peux équiper soit un point de compétence en logique ou érudition. Alors j'ai quoi? Et lui, érudition. Oh, je suis pas prêt de passer au suivant. Et logique. Ah, je pourrais mettre un point en logique, comme ça au moins j'ai plus de chances de passer au suivant. Donc logique. En même temps, je vais vérifier si le son du jeu on l'entend cool, mais ça m'a l'air assez bien. Par contre, c'est ma voix qu'on entend très basse. Alors, je monte ma voix. Comme ça, tiens, par
Is
exemple.
there nothing you want to say, Louis?
It wasn't me. I didn't kill her.
I'd much rather have met you under.
C'est comment là par rapport à la voix des personnages?
Lord Mortimer, believe me, I'm very conscious of the gravity of the situation. Everything seems to point to me as the one who killed Elizabeth, but I swear I am innocent.
Out of respect.
Ah, ça m'a l'air bien.
Rest assured that I do want to believe you.
And all I want is to be able to prove it to you. When do we start?
We already have. Tell me, Louis.
Peut-être baisser un chou.
How do you feel?
Ça m'a l'air cool. Alors, on est donc face à Lord Mortimer, parce qu'on a tué... il pense qu'on a tué Elizabeth Adams. Voilà, j'ai coupé le son. Parce qu'il pense qu'on a tué Elizabeth Adams. Donc dites-moi Louis, comment vous sentez-vous? Question stupide. Piégé comme un rat. Ah, c'est question stupide, c'est au niveau étiquette. Bah, vas-y, fais-toi plaisir. Ah, piégé comme un rat, ça me coûte que 0 points. Donc c'est pas mal. Vu que j'ai psychologie niveau 2. On va partir là-dessus.
Rat trapped in a maze.
Interesting.
I beg your pardon?
Sarah also felt like she was trapped, like an animal.
Where are you going with this, my lord?
Sarah's behavior grew odd before her disappearance. Her attitude changed. She became prey to outbursts of violence and a number of temporary absences. I'm just trying to make sure that you don't go getting lost like your mother did.
You're not suggesting that I might have killed Elizabeth and that I don't remember, are you?
I don't know, Louis. It's just that what with your mother and now you, it's rather a lot. The more I take stock of the situation, the more I'm under the impression that you've been set up. But before going any further, I must inform you that Sir Gregory is about to arrive. He is coming to question you about the murder of poor Elizabeth, whom he was very fond of. He is quite determined to find the culprit, whomever he may be. So, convince him of your innocence. Then we can continue this conversation.
Ok. On a enfin
William,
rencontré
I
Lord
would like
Mortimer.
to see you a moment before we begin. In private.
Let's step outside a moment.
Putain,
Louis,
ça c'est du bureau.
This will only take a few moments.
Ah, les décors sont toujours aussi grandioses, ça c'est quand même la classe. Fouiller le bureau. Patienter. Ah Je vais me faire griller si je fouille, hein, mais je cherche ma mère.
Alright, let's take this chance to look around.
On va faire au mieux, on va faire au mieux, on va faire au mieux. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on a ici? Si je vois les témoignages des invités de Bonaparte et Hillsborough, déposition de Monsieur Bonaparte, à la question qu'avez-vous fait hier soir, Monsieur Bonaparte répond: après avoir discuté avec Lord Mortimer, j'ai passé la soirée à jouer aux cartes avec Sir Gregory, Monsieur Washington et son éminence Piaggi. Sir Gregory a gagné. À la question avez-vous remarqué quelque chose d'étrange durant la soirée, Monsieur Bonaparte répond: à l'aube, j'ai cru apercevoir quelqu'un sur le balcon, mais je n'ai pu voir qui. Déposition de la duchesse Hillsborough, à la question qu'avez-vous fait hier soir, la duchesse répond: j'ai passé la soirée en compagnie de Monsieur de Richet, nous avons admiré les œuvres présentes dans la galerie du manoir. Elle a menti pour moi. En montant nous coucher, nous avons croisé... Ah non, nous avons croisé Mademoiselle Adams. Fatigué de ma journée, j'ai laissé Monsieur de Richet et Mademoiselle Adams discuter et aller me coucher. À la question, avez-vous remarqué quelque chose d'étrange durant la soirée? Non, pas que je me souvienne. Je suis dans la caca. Ah c'est tout, j'avais le droit à un seul truc? Bah ça va pas aller loin. J'avais le droit de regarder un seul truc?
Please, sit back down, Louis.
Merde, j'aurais dû regarder la bonne lettre?
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man. Monsieur de Richet, you were found standing over Miss Adams' body.
J'ai été
We must
empoisonné.
shed some light on your responsibility in this tragedy. We shall then decide on your
J'ai
fate.
été empoisonné.
But you must know that if you do not convince us of your innocence, it will cost you dearly. Now you are going to tell us everything that happened last night, without leaving
La vérité,
any
rien que la vérité,
detail
toute la
out.
vérité.
First
Promis.
things first, how did your evening begin?
Elisabeth m'a tiré dans sa chambre, ça sert à rien. J'étais avec Emily quand Elisabeth est arrivée. Elisabeth a demandé à me
I
parler.
was in the corridor and I was going to bed. Elizabeth wanted to speak to me because she feared for her life.
Very well. Continue.
Were you alone?
Ne leur mens pas. Oui, j'étais seul. Non, continuez sans répondre à Mortimer. J'étais avec Emily.
No, I was going upstairs with Duchess Hillsborough and we were walking towards our rooms when Elizabeth suddenly appeared. We were heading for our rooms when Elizabeth burst into the corridor, barely dressed. She was panic-stricken and insisted on speaking to me. So I found myself in Elizabeth's room. We sat down together. She insisted we have a drink or she would refuse to confide in me.
What exactly did she want to speak about at such a late hour?
De son enfance avec ma mère. Dis-leur qu'elle se sentait guérie. Ah, tu peux les manipuler comme ça? De leur enfance avec ma mère. De son enfance avec
She
ma mère.
was distressed. She just found out that I was Sarah de Richet's son and sort of insisted on telling me about the horrors my mother made her suffer. She was convinced she was going to die.
It turns out she wasn't wrong.
Oui, manifestement, elle avait pas tort.
And what happened next?
Then she told me she had poured laudanum in my glass. The next minute I was on the floor. When I woke up, she was lying in a pool of blood.
That is all you had to say? You expect us to believe that you have no idea what happened to her?
Yes, because I'm telling you the truth.
How can you possibly expect us to believe you?
Gregory, we must consider every possibility. Louis, do you have any idea who could have done it?
Pourquoi Washington? Ah ouais, Washington aurait pu le faire. Vu que c'est la fille d'Adams... Mais non, il n'y a aucune raison. Jacques Perrot aurait pu le faire, mais on s'en fout, il est juste con, mais... Ça se trouve, c'est moi.
Look, frankly, it's beyond me. I just don't know.
On
Monsieur
pourrait tellement
de
répondre des
Richet,
choses différentes.
Don't you think it would be in your interest to help
Merde.
find another suspect?
Vous ne croyez-vous pas que vous auriez tiré... Ma mère? Si ça se trouve, c'est moi. Ma mère ou moi? La dernière chance. Putain, la vache. Sortez innocent de ce procès. Ma mère?
Well, even if I can't believe for a single instant that my mother could have murdered someone in that manner, she might have wanted to stop Elizabeth from speaking about their mutual past. And things might have turned nasty.
It is indeed a possibility.
I would like to thank you for helping us shed light on what happened.
Si c'est rond, c'est pas carré hein, comme
To
discussion.
be honest, you are not the only suspect. I'm prepared to believe you were drugged. Our poor Elizabeth hid the stuff everywhere, and I could smell laudanum on you 3 yards away.
So you knew it wasn't me from the start?
We weren't sure. Louis, I am sorry, but everything points in the same direction. I only know one person on this island who might have had a big enough grudge against Elizabeth, who has no alibi, and whose behavior is, well, suspect. Not to mention dangerous.
Tell me what happened before my arrival. I think I've been patient enough.
Ah, les veines dans les yeux et tout, c'est vraiment excellent.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Ça m'étonnerait que ce soit lui. Il n'y a aucune raison, il est juste un peu con-con, quoi. Con-con bourrin.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Elle n'a pas disparu, hein, c'est ça?
She isn't missing, you know.
What? What do you mean?
My mother has left traces in every nook and cranny of your island, my lord. She's definitely here. Now, what worries me most is why she doesn't show herself.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
On en a
Monsieur
discuté au petit
Bonaparte
déj.
came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far. Yet he told me that you had spoken and that you hadn't been able to reach an understanding.
C'était pas...
That's putting it mildly. Monsieur Bonaparte is one of those guys who only understands people who think like he does.
Ah, I see what you mean. He is indeed rather inflexible when it comes to certain subjects. But I am still of the opinion that you can manage to get along.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Ma mère vendait des armes? Pourquoi aider un lieutenant?
Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once
Tu
this
m'étonnes
deal is
que
closed,
si quelques canons pouvaient l'aider à avoir un empereur dans sa poche, c'est un
Such
coup à
as
jouer, quoi.
what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not?
J'adore sa façon de parler,
Oui, je
Monsieur
sais.
Mortimer.
Ah.
Il est tellement classe que je l'appelle Monsieur. Par réflexe. Je l'appelle Monsieur par réflexe, quoi.
There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
Elle cherchait un acheteur? Pourquoi elle cherchait un acheteur? C'est quoi que j'ai raté?
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris. We were working on a smuggling case.
Ah oui, d'accord, c'était pour l'intro, par rapport à l'intro.
We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
Ah oui, c'était Von Brochet. Non, Von Borcher. Von Broby, c'est pas Von Broby, on est d'accord? Von Brochet ou Von Borcher? Von Borchert. Von Brochet. Brochet, c'est trop français. Von Borchert.
The dealer was called Von Burchard. As for the
Von
buyer,
Burchard.
he was unknown to us.
No, I don't know anything about that. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion,
Von
why
Broby.
would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Elle a pu faire une découverte, elle a peut-être perdu la raison. Elle est un peu fofolle, hein, ma mère, j'ai l'impression, n'empêche.
Maybe she found something out.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
De quoi parliez-vous?
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Eh ben dis donc. Le Cotton Gin de Whitney ou le traité de Jesse, mais le traité de Jesse, je peux pas, j'ai une politique indisponible, d'accord.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
La fameuse bulle papale de Grégory VIII. Et ça j'ai parce que j'ai érudition, ok.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Tu sens que c'est des Français derrière. C'est cool. J'adore cet accent.
Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
On peut jeter un œil?
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course.
Ah,
I'll
merci.
send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
Ah, je peux...
Sorry, my lord, but I was searching for leads to my mother. I thought I was hot on her trail and didn't take any precautions.
Well, you could have reported it to a servant. But never mind. I shall put it down to your ardor and anxiety.
T'as l'impression que tu peux tout lui dire, tu peux pas lui mentir à Mortimer.
I certainly will. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Sacrée discussion, n'empêche. J'ai gardé pas mal de points, n'empêche. Ça aussi... Oh putain, mais j'avais oublié que c'était aussi beau. Aller à la chambre de la tour. Ok. J'avais oublié qu'il était aussi beau, là, vache. Cet effet de peinture est vraiment hyper agréable, c'est assez fou. Alors, c'était quoi déjà pour... Donc c'est là que tu dois aller? C'est la chambre de maman? Enfin, la pièce où maman se résignait?
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword.
I recognize her love of riddles there.
En fait, ma mère, c'est l'homme mystère.
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Ah non, mais non, je l'ai déjà lu.
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's
Quoi,
handwriting.
nous devons trouver un moyen plus sûr d'échanger. Ah oui, quelqu'un est sur nos traces, fiez-vous à moi. Fiez-vous à moi. Fiez-vous à ma foi en l'homme à l'épée.
So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword.
La foi, un homme
I
avec une
recognize her
épée.
love of riddles there.
Ok. Tous ces bouquins, il n'y a rien. Ok. Un bouquin.
Dante's Paradise.
Bah tiens.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Je peux aller dehors? Non, je peux pas aller dehors.
What is this disc?
Ah merde! Il me faut de la science. Je vais le prendre? D'accord, je l'ai pris. La manette est déconnectée. Se fout de ma gueule? Pierre magnétique, un aimant de forme circulaire. Ah oui, en fait, j'ai gagné un point aussi. Qu'est-ce que j'ai gagné? Intempérant. Vous avez bu avec Elisabeth Adams jusqu'à être saoul. Vous gagnez un point en psychologique. Vous avez gagné un point en compétence de conviction. Vous avez convaincu vos juges de votre innocence au sujet d'Elisabeth Adams. Ok. Ah là, j'ai presque touche à tout. Obtenir toutes les compétences au niveau 1. Ah d'accord, il me manque linguistique, science, occultisme, politique. Il faudra que je le fasse absolument dès que je peux. Ok. Ok, là il y a rien. Là il y a rien. Là.
Saint Paul on the road to Damascus.
Je sais pas
by
comment ils font les gens
Caravaggio.
pour connaître le nom de tous les tableaux, c'est un truc de fou. Putain, 3 points, la vache.
A fierce opponent of the first Christians, Saint Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles.
Je peux examiner le tableau?
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Il y a sûrement autre chose à faire, mais j'avais pas les points à mon avis. Ok. Là il y a une autre porte, c'est tout? Là il y a quelque chose. C'est moi il y avait. Ah je crois que ça. Ouais ça affiche derrière en fait. Il y a un bug. Ah merde c'est fermé?
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Boum! Non?
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
Alors je peux forcer la porte. Crocheter la serrure. Comment ouvrir? Utiliser le disque? Bah ouais, c'est un aimant. Ouais, beau gosse!
It's open.
On dirait qu'il va boxer quelqu'un, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Waouh la vache, c'est magnifique, hein. Les environnements sont magistrales, majestueux. Ouais, ils sont majestueux, c'est ouf.
Saint Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Il a une épée.
Saint Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Récapituler les informations du tableau, réfléchir au code secret. Et bah réfléchir au code
So we
secret.
have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'il a le câble, les fichiers?
But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Ok, choix déjà effectué. Okay. Bon, on va laisser ça comme ça pour l'instant. Je vais pas gâcher mes points, j'en ai plus beaucoup. On va voir ce qu'il y a dans le coin.
Amber crystals. Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
D'accord. Quoi? Ah! Robertus Anglicus, un livre phare qui expose l'art subtil du sophisme. Un point en diversion, d'accord. C'est quoi ça? Ah oui, c'est des pièces de collection.
Saint John, painted by Guido Rini. Saint John is known as the youngest of Christ's apostles, when we often give credit to Saint John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible.
Ok, dehors on peut pas y aller.
The New Testament.
Waouh! Eh ben on est parti. Waouh! T'es sérieux? Mais il y a tout le testament? T'es sérieux?
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan.
Ah, je crois que c'est par rapport au tableau. Alors attends.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Rini. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Donc, voilà, donc la foi de l'homme à l'épée, c'est le 11 et... Oh, une boîte.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
7 points. Points. C'est mort. Alors, comment il s'appelait lui? C'était qui? Il s'appelait Saint Paul. C'est ça. C'est Saint Paul et quelque chose 11. Donc là, le Nouveau Testament, les évangiles, l'épître de Paul. Analyser le livre, on s'en fout. L'épître de Paul. Épître des Corinthiens 2. Reviens au début. Épître de Paul 2. C'est quelque part là-dedans. Épîtres pastoraux. Parce que c'est pas là. Attends. L'évangile selon saint Marc, saint Jean, saint Matthieu. Les actes des apôtres. Chapitre 6, verset 11.
Then they suborned men, which said, We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God.
Ouais, ça me fait une belle jambe. Ok. Épître aux Romains. Ah, chapitre 11, verset 11. Le 11 deux fois.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait. A note from mother is carefully.
Je me dis, c'est pas possible.
Here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does mother mean by that?
Ah bah le plus jeune c'est lui. C'est Saint Paul? Saint Jean? Scrutez le cadre. Il ne porte pas de barbe. Quoi?
Saint John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle.
Non mais si tu l'as dit tout à l'heure que c'était lui le plus jeune.
This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer.
Mais il a dit qu'il était caché derrière.
The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. What wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle?
Mais regarde derrière le cadre.
Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
C'est tout? Ok. Ah, doit ajouter 1 à gauche et 3 à droite. Mais à propos de quoi? Ah,
Several
ici.
portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Donc, donc, si on peut les choisir, ce serait le deuxième. Ah non, que dalle, peu de zob. Ok. fout. S'en fout. S'en fout. Ah bon? Non, s'en fout. S'en fout. C'était quoi ça déjà?
Dante's Paradise.
Ah, le paradis de Dante.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Deux représentations du même saint?
St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
Examinez le cadre.
This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Ok.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent
Ok, donc
command
là il y a
of
le chiffre
black,
4.
the play of colors
C'est ça,
too.
c'est Saint Paul.
Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Paul, ouais, c'est ça, c'est Saint Paul et le nombre 4. Il y a quoi dans le bouquin autour de Paul? Je l'ai lu ça? Je l'ai pas vu celui-là?
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There's something else behind this painting. It
Putain, mais il y a des
says
trucs partout.
half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Réfléchir au groupe de pèlerins, réfléchir à la ville-cité. Alors attends, comment ça marche déjà?
Must be the group of pilgrims mentioned from before. I guess maybe the city of Corinth is a reference to the epistle from Corinthians in the Bible.
Ok. T'as mis plein de trucs. Alors. L'évangile selon Saint Marc. Non, l'autre c'était qui? C'était Saint Paul? Non, c'est pas ça. Saint Luc, non, c'est pas ça. Les apôtres. Et l'autre il avait le chiffre 4, hein, c'est ça. Hein. C'est pas ça. Non, c'est pas lui. C'est pas ici. Donc les épîtres de Paul, les épîtres aux Romains, non. Aux Corinthiens, donc il y a quelque chose là-dedans.
For you are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
Ah putain, faut remonter à chaque fois. Donc Corinthiens, chapitre 1,
The Jews
verset 22.
require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom. If we have hope in Christ in this life only, we are, of all men, most miserable.
Ok, y a rien de particulier. Ah merde, il y a Corinthe 2.
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look,
Ah, il y a un
here's a
message.
message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. Prussian? Volner? I must have a word with him. And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
Épîtres et pastoraux de l'Apocalypse. Jacques. Pierre. Ok, Jean.
Hereby know that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his Spirit.
Non, ok. C'est quoi?
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. This volume dates from the first edition by Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible.
Ok. Ça me fait une belle jambe. Oula, c'est quoi tout ça? Nous devons nous Épître 1 Paul 1-2, Épître aux Romains, chapitre 11-11. Heureusement que vous avez trouvé cette note. J'avais peur que le code de 2 groupes de pèlerins ne vous déroute. Récupérez le livre où vous savez et cachez-le où personne ne le trouvera. C'est impératif. J'attends votre réponse. Cachée derrière le plus jeune apôtre. Ah, c'est ce que j'ai trouvé. Épître Paul 1-2. Épître aux Corinthiens, chapitre 6, verset 7. Il est vraiment primordial qu'on ne le retrouve pas. Méfiez-vous du Prussien, il est sur sa piste. Retrouvez-nous. D'accord. Mais il y a autre chose que j'ai pas encore trouvé. Donc ici, il n'y a plus rien, on est d'accord?
On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left.
C'est ça, c'est un
and
compagnon
three
et 3 à
to their
gauche. Ça sert à
right
quoi ça?
to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Oui, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire ça? On va réinspecter les autres tableaux.
There's nothing worth noticing here.
Ok. Inspecter les alentours. Ah oui, d'accord. Scruter la
Little
tableau.
characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Ah merde, linguistique 0. Pourquoi l'hébreu? Occultisme indisponible, super. Ah, reviens! Donc, inspecter les alentours, inspecter le meuble
They're
poussiéreux.
finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
Examiner
No.
le chandelier.
Nothing of value here.
Derrière le
It's
tableau.
too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Ok. Ok, bon, là, il y a des phrases en hébreu que je ne peux rien faire. Là, il n'y a rien. Le lit, je peux rien faire. Lui...
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Oui, donc
St.
ça,
Paul
j'ai
is shown
vu.
holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
C'est
Of
quoi
the
ça?
4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
Ça me fait une belle jambe aussi. Inspecter le tableau, ok. 2 visages du même saint.
Strange. St. Paul is shown twice, unlike the other disciples.
Ok, ça me fait une belle jambe aussi. Vas-y, je vais
So
utiliser
we
un point, c'est pas
have
grave.
the figure 11
Ouais, mais ça, j'ai
twice
trouvé ça.
underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere.
Ça, c'est bon,
and
je l'ai
it must
trouvé.
be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Ok. Donc ici, il n'y a plus rien. Là, il y a la boîte, mais j'ai pas de clé. Et j'ai pas de points non plus. Donc, de toute façon, même si j'utilise tout, c'est foutu. Ah, Ah, mais attends, si, prochaine compétence gratuite, je peux utiliser ça.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Attends, si je fais ça. Oui 7 points, quoi. C'est énorme. Putain, tout ça pour un élixir d'or. Yahoo. Ah, 2 élixirs d'or. Ah, ouh, un fragment d'ambre. Ah, ouais, d'accord. Ok, ici, donc rien. Il y avait un autre tableau là. Donc ça, j'avais calculé tout ce qu'il fallait calculer. Alors, on peut pas inspecter Le reste de la pièce comme là-bas ou pas?
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Examiner le tableau, examiner le cadre, partir. Ok, donc là il n'y a plus rien à faire. Mais il me restera lire la Bible dans tous les sens. Hein? Pic de Dante. D'accord. Bon bah on va lire les derniers passages de la Bible que j'ai pas fait.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Il est sur sa piste, retrouvons-nous, je vais laisser. Ouais. Je sais pas moi. Là non. Et lui, je crois qu'il n'y a plus rien, il me semble, attends. Choix déjà effectué. Observez la peinture, regardez le cadre. Je crois qu'on l'avait déjà regardé.
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Ok. Bon, on va se taper la Bible. Hein. On y va. Il y a un truc que j'ai dû rater. Oh putain, mais il y a tellement de trucs que je vais pas aller. Je vais pas aller au hasard. Il y a trop de trucs.
Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men, for all have sinned.
Il y a trop de trucs. Donc Romains, chapitre
There is
13.
none that
Chapitre 3.
understandeth. There is none that seeketh after God.
Romains, donc chapitre 11, verset 11, c'est ce que j'avais trouvé. Chapitre
We
7,
know
verset
that the
14.
law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
Donc là c'est fini. Ensuite, Corinthiens
How
3,
shall
8.
not the ministration of the Spirit not be more glorious?
Corinthiens 13, 7.
Now I pray to God that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, for we are as reprobates.
Ok, Paul, Corinthiens 4, 18.
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things
Ah mais 4,
which
18
are not
c'est là où j'ai trouvé l'autre message, je
For the
crois.
things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Corinthiens 2, 15.
For we are unto God a sweet savor of Christ, in them that are saved, and in them that perish.
Ok. Non. Corinthiens 2. Donc j'ai tout fait là. Épître aux Galates.
But though we, or an angel from heaven, preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed.
Épître aux Galates.
This only would I learn of you. Receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? But when it pleased God,
Ça va être
who
long, hein,
separated
tester
me
tous les
from
trucs,
my
hein, au
mother's
hasard.
womb, and called me by his grace. For I through the law am dead to the law, that I might live unto God.
Merde, revenir au début. Donc, épître de Paul, j'ai tout fait, je crois. Donc, les évangiles, on va faire ça. Les évangiles et actes des apôtres, selon saint Marc.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread, and blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them, and said, Take, eat, this is my body.
Il était bien allumé, hein, Jésus, quand il
And
pense.
behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet. Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Ok, donc, selon saint Marc, c'est fait. Selon saint Jean,
He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
Après, si vous avez jamais lu la Bible, bah, c'est cool d'apprendre des trucs.
And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called
Golgotha.
in Hebrew Golgotha.
D'accord, maintenant je sais d'où tire son pseudo Golgotha. Des noobs.
I and my Father are one.
Ça veut dire qu'elle doit être hyper, pas hyper religieuse, mais au moins elle a subi le catéchisme parce que faut le ressortir Golgotha.
Now there is a Jerusalem by the sheep market, a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5
Ah, Bethesda. Ben voilà, on sait aussi d'où vient Bethesda aussi. Comme quoi, c'est pas si nul, hein. C'est pertinent. Donc ça, c'était Saint Jean, Saint Luc.
And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people.
Donc Saint Luc.
And so many came and couldn't find the body of the Lord Jesus. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria.
Ok. Donc ça, c'était Saint Luc, et j'ai tout fait. Évangile selon Saint Matthieu.
Take heed that ye practice your justice before men, to be seen differently by them. Otherwise, ye shall have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort, thy faith hath made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore.
Ouais.
And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
D'accord. Les actes des apôtres.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven like a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests which did so. And he became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother.
Pourquoi Jésus?
We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner.
Ok, là au moins on a vraiment le message que c'est Volner qui faut
Allay
esquiver.
suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
C'est probablement allégorique, c'est probablement littéral. Moi je dirais que c'est probablement littéral.
Clearly she must be trying to do something useful, but what? The nightmare. Does that remind me of anything?
C'est un concept, c'est un objet, c'est un lieu. C'est un objet ou un lieu? Ça pourrait être un objet.
It probably has to do with an object or something. Granting that this is the case, where might it be found?
Une pièce du rez-de-chaussée, une pièce du premier étage, une pièce du deuxième étage à l'extérieur du manoir. Faire un effort pour se souvenir. Difficulté 10. 10 points. Il n'y a même pas 10 points en fait. Si? Où est-ce que j'ai vu un cauchemar? J'ai pas utilisé encore une compétence gratuite quand j'en ai besoin pour autre chose. Et puis merde.
It was a study. I'm practically sure
Un
of it.
bureau?
Yes. It's the painting that was behind Mortimer's study. Well, let's see if Mortimer has anything
Le tableau que
to hide
j'ai pas regardé parce que j'ai voulu regarder d'abord une lettre sur la table. Je pensais qu'on pouvait regarder plusieurs lettres, mais non.
I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Ok. Donc c'est l'invitation de mon... Une note de ma mère. Il nous faut partir blablabla. Ok. Ah oui, donc j'ai gagné un truc, j'ai gagné un trait. Théologien, vous gagnez 1 point de compétence en occultisme. Ok. Ok. Je me suis innocenté aux yeux de mes autres, j'ai raté. J'aurais pu retrouver la conversation entre ma mère et son associé. Peut-être une des autres lettres. Ou peut-être dans la chambre. Ok. Alors, réfléchissons peu, réfléchissons bien. Lui, on va le passer au niveau 1. Donc niveau 1, niveau 1, niveau 1, niveau 2, niveau 1. Niveau 1, niveau 1, niveau 1, niveau 0. Donc lui, on va le passer au niveau 1. Niveau 1, niveau 1, niveau 1, niveau 0. Oh putain, niveau 0. Voilà, comme ça j'aurai 5% d'expérience supplémentaire pour le prochain coup. Un destin tragique. Ok, et donc là, je vais prendre donc soit un point de compétence en érudition, soit un point de compétence en diversion. J'en suis comment là? Elle est où la diversion? Diversion, ouais. Et l'autre c'était quoi? C'était conviction? Diversion ou érudition, pardon. Ouais, érudition, je viens de passer... ouais, je suis pas près de l'avoir. On peut prendre l'érudition. Et puis... voilà. Ah bah je peux prendre les deux de toute façon, donc comme ça c'est réglé. On y va. Et il me faut 4 manuscrits pour activer l'autre truc. Oh là j'ai débloqué plein de trucs. Alors, qu'est-ce que j'ai débloqué du coup? Théologien. Mais j'ai pas débloqué des trucs. Genre... Ah non, ça doit être là-dedans alors. Ah voilà. Voilà, c'est ça, j'ai débloqué ça. Et ça du coup aussi. Vos gains d'expérience sont augmentés. Lire 5 manuscrits. D'accord. Donc ça c'est presque fait. Vous pouvez équiper un manuscrit supplémentaire. Collecter 10 manuscrits. Récupérer 12 fragments d'armes, j'en ai 9. Il n'y a pas de compétence subterfuge, c'est la compétence subterfuge 10 fois, d'accord. Ok. Retrouver les autres dans le petit salon. Ok, on y va. C'est où le petit salon? Bonjour. Tu sais où est le petit salon?
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Ok, merci. On doit être en bas, là où il y avait l'incident. Je peux aller dans la petite boîte, là? Non. Est-ce que je peux descendre par là? Oui.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision.
I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Ne pas la mettre sur la piste de ma mère. Non, mais je lui donne la vérité. Lui parler des messages, demander lui pour aller au-delà du cauchemar.
I've got a question that might seem a little bit strange.
I'm listening.
If I said go beyond the nightmare, would that ring any bells?
No, means nothing to me.
Est-ce que ça vous fait sonner quelques
Do
cloches?
you mean
C'est marrant,
literally
l'expression
or
anglaise.
figuratively speaking?
Non, non, propre.
It might be a place, I don't know where, but it's a lead.
You ought to ask His Eminence. He knows the house and its estate very well, being a frequent visitor here.
Thanks for the advice.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Oh, je vais lui dire. Il faut qu'elle le
Emily,
sache.
there's something else.
Go on then.
It's about your sister. I don't know what happened exactly, but it's possible that my mother had a go at her.
I know, Louis. I found out that same evening. Well, thanks for not trying to hide it.
Ah merde, elle le sait.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know I can. It seems that your mother tricked Emma. She apparently asked her to hide an important book, so that even she wouldn't know where it was. And then she shot her like a dog to make sure no one would ever find it again.
Merde, elle le sait.
Why would she do that?
I don't know, Louis, but I'll find out. You can count on that.
I'm sincerely sorry, Emily.
Thank you, Louis. But you do
C'est bon, les gars,
realize
qui
your
commencent à
mother
s'engueuler à
will have
côté.
to accept the consequences of her acts.
There must be an explanation, Emily.
That's what we shall see. Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
You will pay dearly,
Ah oui,
Peru.
il s'engueule.
I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
Mais qui est-ce?
And who is this charming character?
Manuel Godoy, the Duke of La Alcudia.
He's the head of the Spanish government, Monsieur de Richet. He's the one who, in practice, controls Spain.
Putain, on a Washington, on a la France, on a l'Espagne.
Dios mío, you are all out of your minds.
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What?
The King of France.
Ah, ça se passe le
dead,
jour où le...
gentlemen. Our
Ça se passe le jour où le roi se fait guillotiner, la classe.
How dare they?
Oh dear.
Ah, lui, il est content, par contre, ça l'arrange.
Let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous! Bastard! He
Capron.
was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote! Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Calmer le jeu ou réfléchir aux conséquences pour l'ordre.
If I remember rightly, what Mother told me one night, King Louis was secretly also part of the Order. I wonder what impact his death will have on us.
Sad news, sir.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Je suis son fils.
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured, the response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
C'est tendu. C'est hyper tendu. C'est fou hein, comment de simples dialogues arrivent à faire une atmosphère aussi tendue et aussi prenante.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too.
C'est le prussien.
Of course.
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Tenait-il à elle? La connaissait-il? Parle-t-il? Je n'ai pas le temps pour ça. Vas-y, est-ce que vous
To hear
tenez?
you speak, it sounds like you and my mother were close.
Let's say I hold your mother in high esteem, yes. We were even planning to work together.
That's what he was getting at.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Fais-le parler dessus. En manipulation, 3 points. C'était quoi ce arrangement?
Absolutely, but I was hoping that you could tell me more about it.
Well, she was planning to sell me a very old book. I will make no secret of the fact that I am passionate about the subject. And when Sarah spoke to me about it, her account
Donc il
literally
cherche bien le
had me
bouquin.
enthralled. I can think of nothing else since. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
Il a l'air obsédé. En psychologie.
The least one can say is that he doesn't beat around the bush.
Sarah never travels without a few books. What does the one you're looking for look like exactly?
It resembles a grimoire. It's
A
divided
grimoire.
into 7 parts, each one individually locked. It
Ouais.
was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. It's a unique copy. There's only one.
The mere mention of it makes his face light up.
Well, I'll take a closer look, but I can't promise you anything. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain
je vais lui péter à la gueule.
merchant in Paris. Do you know him?
Oui, je le connais.
Indeed. My mother and I had a brush with this individual just a few months ago.
Nous avons eu maille à partir.
Found an
Quel joli mot.
object stolen from the order a few years ago, which my mother wanted to recover.
Ah, this situation comes as a great surprise to me.
I got him now.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Vollner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Vollner. You're the one who von Burchert was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
Le roi de Prusse? Mortimer? Pourquoi Mortimer? Pourquoi il travaillerait pour Mortimer? Pour Holm? Pourquoi il travaillerait pour Holm? Le roi Prusse? Pourquoi il travaille... Enfin, il travaille forcément pour le roi Prusse, mais il pourrait peut-être le doubler, le roi Prusse. Ah!
Your dear king, I should think.
What? You mean Frederick William? Oh, my poor fellow. You are miles away.
Non,
That
Alors, t'es sûr que c'est pas lui.
stupid
Pourquoi j'ai
pretentious
dit
puppet wields no real power. But seeing as you do not wish to be serious, so be it. Good luck to you.
Merde. Ok, putain, c'est beau. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose à récupérer avant de partir? Rendez-vous dans le bureau de Mortimer. Ok, on va y aller tout de suite après. Il y a une boîte.
There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
Ah, j'ai plus rien. Altération, immunité. Je suis à poil. Elle est où cette clé? Elles sont où ces clés? Elles sont en DLC? C'est payant? Comment ça marche? Salut Napon.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
Mais oui.
Comme ça, tu demandes à Napoléon de le prendre. Ah super.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Elle est géniale sa voix. Napoléon il est trop bien fait. Trop bien réussi.
Meaning?
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. He's undeserved titles. More than 10 in just 4 years. And each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Ok, c'est tout.
Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any
Quoi?
news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
À plus tard, monsieur. Salut Dante. Ok, y a rien d'autre ici. Mais je veux de la gelée, je veux du miel, donnez-moi du miel. Je suis à poil, j'ai plus rien. Oh.
A bezant.
Ah, un besoin, super. Ok, y a plus rien ici? Bon. Est-ce que je vais directement me téléporter là où il faut ou je... Non, je passe par en bas, ok. Alors, je vais quand même vérifier qu'il n'y a rien, que j'ai rien raté. Est-ce que je peux aller dehors? Non, je peux pas. Attends, c'est quoi ça? Il y a un point qui vole.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Oui, c'est clair que ça c'est de la porte. Hein. Tu m'étonnes. Ok, il n'y a pas un manuscrit caché, il n'y a rien, il n'y a rien. Bonjour, monsieur Washington. C'est quoi cette musique un peu humoristique là?
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
What do you mean?
The situation is ready to explode with France over Catalonia.
Well, the Duke must have a darn good reason to be absent and come here, mustn't he?
When Lord Mortimer invites you, Louis, you come. It's always in your best interest.
I wouldn't say that personally, but...
Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer, or Sir Gregory, regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend.
Ok. Alors, juste faire un petit tour par ici. Y a rien. Toi, je peux te parler? T'as pas de la gelée royale?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service, day and night, sir.
L'autre des lieux, je m'en fous que... dire non. Non. Oui.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Mais je crois que j'ai déjà tout
Of
récupéré.
course, sir. What would you require?
Ah putain, il en a pas. Ah, des manuscrits? T'as des manuscrits?
What's that book you're hiding
Ah oui, j'avais
in
pas
your
réussi à le
jacket?
récupérer parce que je sais
The
plus quoi.
Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Je vais lui faire croire que c'est mon livre. Ah putain, c'est 3 points quoi. Blablabla. Ok. Faut que je le récupère ce manuscrit. Ok, là y'a rien, y'a rien, y'a rien sur la table. Élixir d'or. On s'en fout. On s'en fout. On s'en fout. Ouais, jolie la carte. Bon. Bah on y va. Donc faut aller dans le bureau de Mortimer. En passant, je vais essayer de passer par les autres chambres. Peut-être que je peux passer dans les autres chambres vite fait. À voir. Non. Non. Ok, bon, bah, on va aller là-haut alors. Là c'est ma chambre. Non. Après il y a sûrement des secrets un peu à gauche à droite. Mais bon. Dans le doute? Non. Putain, c'est vrai qu'il est grand cet étage, la vache. Non. J'ai raté les escaliers qui descendent ou quoi? Ah non, non, c'est là. Donc là, c'est la chambre de ma mère. Enfin, la chambre où ma mère se retroussait. Se retroussait? Ça se retrousse pas une mère. Putain, mais t'es tellement à poil, c'est un truc de fou. En fait, pour être à l'aise, faudrait faire le premier chapitre où tu utilises aucune gelée royale pour pouvoir vraiment les économiser. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il y a ici? Ah ouais, parce qu'en plus il joue à DC Sparta. Ça va, je peux pas tomber. Ce serait trop con sinon. C'est dangereux quand même. Ça va faire un courant d'air aussi. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on a dans le coin?